Hey everyone, this is Ghost, and I'm here to present to you what I think the 6 biggest winners of the Ability Draft Patch 7.39. Patch 7.39 is possibly the biggest Ability Draft patch of all time. The new additions of hero drafting and tying facets to abilities instead of base hero models has opened up many new possibilities for drafting, and even more opportunities to draft bad. That's why I want to help you fall in the good category and improve your drafting. Here are what I feel are some spells that have improved drastically this patch. First off, Atrophy Aura. The Demon's Reach Cleave facet has caused Atrophy Aura to become what I would consider a first pickable spell. It used to be a good spell. Carries could pick it and get tons of damage, but its downside was how snowbally it was compared to other damage abilities, needing you to start racking up some minion kills before a fight and even 1 or 2 kills within a fight to really maximize your damage potential. But now it also becomes a farming spell by giving you a cleave. Being able to pick Atrophy Aura in the first round and then the best available melee model in the second round is usually enough to carry a game. A spell that was once purely damage is now damage and farm, meaning maxing it early in your games is becoming optimal too. Coming out of the lane with a level 4 Atrophy Aura and all of a sudden you're hitting people for 200 damage that cleaves is very strong. I don't know if I would put this above Arctic Burn, but it is definitely on par with Arctic Burn this patch in my eyes. Second spell to look at, Diabolic Edict, another spell that requires the facet, but the Misanthropy facet increases the use of this spell drastically. What was once a slow burn damage spell is now fast and reliable damage. Its main downside comes from really being for small amounts of heroes. If it's a one-on-one fight with Edict, you will basically win if you just hit the button. 1v2s are still also very doable, but as soon as you start getting creeps in the mix and a lot of things to soak up the damage, it does fall off a little bit, but you can spend the rest of your draft to get spells that assist in ganking and survivability. Because with the Misanthropy facet, Diabolic Edict its damage can essentially scale the entire game. As of writing this, Edict isn't highly valued, but I'm sure as time goes on, people will start to see, and I believe this could be a first phase worthy skill, but I've been reliably able to draft it in the second and third phase, as historically it is usually either a 4th pick or an undrafted spell. Third on the list, I want to talk about Chaotic Offering. You'll notice the trend here of spells getting juiced by facets are now much stronger when you can use that facet on any hero. Chaotic Offering, or Golem, was already a great skill, but it used to really only be first pick worthy on the Warlock base model. Now, with the Champion of Gorosh facet, gaining damage on your golems based on your health regen, being able to pick this on some beefy strength heroes has become super strong, and even allowing for a dream combination of getting it on the Slark base model, so that your golems have their AoE damage juiced by the Barracuda regen innate ability on Slark. Slark continues to be the best support model in the game. Sticky Napalm. Sticky Napalm was once the menace of ability draft, with many dream combos. First phasing Sticky Napalm, and then everyone's got to deny every spell that does ticks, as it used to be so strong. But now, as more magic resist gets into the game, and people are frankly just better at the game, the time of Sticky Napalm stomping games is practically gone. I don't know, maybe it still happens if you're Herald or whatnot, but I haven't seen it in years. It doesn't scale to the late game. But with the new Sticky Napalm changes, I've seen a resurgence of the spell on more clicking and auto attack focused builds. Now that Sticky Napalm has the Arsonist facet that allows it to apply 1 stack of napalm on your auto attacks reliably, increases the consistency of the spell and lowers the mana cost requirement of running Sticky Napalm. As historically, it is a very mana-intensive spell, but when you're able to just ignore the mana utilities, this almost becomes something of a liquid fire type spell of free harass, but you can combo this with other harass to really amplify. The changes of the spell, now giving 2 stacks of Sticky Napalm up to a max of 20 on the condition that each individual stack is half as effective, does mean that it is not insane to be giving free napalm stacks, but the fact it used to be a shard and is now just an innate ability you can get at the beginning of the game does make this much, much stronger. I've seen this to effectiveness on Ember Spirit base model because he has the innate that constantly has that damage tick around him, as well as other ranged heroes who pick up something like Burning Spears or Poison Attack and just start going insane off of it. Speaking of auto attack modifiers, Glaives of Wisdom is much, much stronger now that you can take the facet to have your glaives bounce at max level. Glaives of Wisdom strong enough before, but now that it also becomes a farming spell, it is definitely a top priority spell, although I haven't encountered this one much in pubs. So I don't have too much to say, but I have lost a couple games just off of people picking this. Most notably, they picked it with Skeleton Walk, using the Burning Barrage Shard, causing ricochets and ricochets of glaives, essentially melting entire teams, and then it was just picked on Sniper and, Sniper. So I don't have too much to really add about the new farming capabilities of Glaives of Wisdom, because I don't see it as much personally, but other people around me have been saying similar stories, and this is definitely a strong spell that you can just pick. And for the last spell on our list, it's an interesting choice this time, because it has nothing to do with the hero facets, unlike every other spell on the list. The other mechanic added in this patch is drafting your hero model. Gaining the ability to coordinate with your team has made Chronosphere so much stronger. Now, for those who don't know, one of the big things with Chronosphere and ability draft is that Faceless Void is capable of walking in and out of the Chronosphere and is essentially immune to it regardless of whose team drafts it. It is all on the Void base model. So previously, the Faceless Void was on your team, then the Chronosphere was a free pick. If it was on the enemy team, they wouldn't want to pick it. So basically, being able to coordinate it where either your carry can pick Faceless Void and a different ulti, like Omni Slash or some strong carry spell, to use inside a Chronosphere that the support picks is very strong. Being able to pick Faceless Void, knowing you are almost guaranteed to be getting a strong ulti as well, is also another reason to pick that base model. So purely just out of the added flexibility of drafting the hero models, Chronosphere has gone from something you only want half the time to something you should be thinking about every single time it's in the pool. I'm sure there's some spells that have strong facets you can reliably get now that I've missed, and I'm sure there's other things that are just as strong as they have been before that weren't really worth talking about. Any changes like Shadow Fiend and Sniper and Arctic Burn, but nonetheless, thanks everyone or coming out. I stream Ability Draft on my Twitch fairly regularly, and peace out until next time.